So your thoughts on this story, and if you could just explain it to our viewers. This is a match that's going to be played between an Israeli team, and it's going to be in the Midlands in the UK, and the fans have been advised don't travel because the Midlands is too dangerous for Jewish people.
That's right. It's Aston Villa against Maccabi Tel Aviv, and it's a major Israeli national team, not the actual national team, but one of the top footballing sides in Israel, coming to the UK, and they're advising Israeli fans not to travel. I think it's an absolute disgrace. I think it's yet another example, when we go back maybe 50 years in these types of examples, of politics interfering with sport. We had it when the Moscow Olympics were boycotted in 1980. We had it when apartheid South Africa was boycotted. We've had it much more recently with Russian teams being boycotted. We've also had attempts to boycott Israel and stop Israel participating in sport. And of course, we have the sickening instance more recently of the England football team and others taking the knee to Black Lives Matter. So sport and politics shouldn't mix, in my opinion. But the more specific points relating to this situation is that, frankly, they're not. We have two-tier policing. There is no will and no determination to look after Jewish people, and that comes to the basic point that yes, it seems that the area is a no-go area for Jews.
Let's bring in my panel of Ashley and Sarah on this issue as well, Jason. Ashley, when you hear this as an American, is it kind of shocking to you that there are parts of the UK that Jewish people are advised not to go to because it could be too dangerous for them?
Yeah, it doesn't really shock me. I think we see this at our own universities here in America specifically. I think that's happening on campuses. The Trump administration has tried to crack down on this. Anti-Semitism is up within the United States, and I think really across the globe, of course, since October 7th happened. I think there's nothing new about this at all.
Yeah, Sarah?
I think what's interesting is I'm going to come at this from a security perspective. So in the UK, you do have this sort of blanket security advisories that go out. So in this case, to Israeli fans. We don't always have clarity over the background to how those security decisions are reached. Certainly the framing of what's happened, I don't think you would have, as Ashley said, the same thing happen in the same way here in the United States, but we have seen similar instances where there is a huge question mark over whether this is targeting, in this instance, Jewish communities, and certainly there is the perception of that, but security concerns, major issue, and so I'd be very interested to know why and how that advisory came about.
Gary?
I think there's an expression, where there's a will, there's a way. And in this particular case, as in so many cases regarding fighting anti-Semitism in Britain in the last couple of years, there is no will. It's almost as if West Midlands Police want the evening off. They're not prepared to go the extra mile to protecting Jewish and Israeli football fans on that evening of that match.
Which is about it's a freedom issue. How free are our streets for everybody? And if they say, Gary, if there is a will, there would be a way. Thank you so much, Gary Mond. There.